Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my Opterra / Parrot Disco build. This here is now part 1 and we will go through the unboxing, showing some parts and the size comparison, how much more payload we might have and how much thrust we need from the Chuck, considering the relatively low amp the ECU can provide to the engine. It is quite tough to find the right motor to produce enough thrust to get the Opterra with all the extra weight in the air. Feels like being in aerospace 101 again all over, but yeah, it's a fun project and I want to give it a try. Really great that these days carbon fiber constructions got to a price point that they can be included in such a build and such a kit. And we have 100% carbon fiber rods here for the main bars attaching the wings to the fuselage, and that is really increasing the performance of the aircraft. First, I'm disconnecting the clover antennas from the Parrot Disco because we will reuse them in the new frame of the Opterra when we are implanting the Chuck to that new frame. The Opterra is a much bigger aircraft than the Parrot Disco, so with a little bit reworking the inside of the fuselage, cutting away some form, will make enough space for getting the Chuck in. The original engine from the Opterra has about 1300 kV, and that is not so far from the kV value of the Disco, which is coming in at 1280. But the Disco engine is a much smaller stator, much smaller magnets, and a much lighter engine, and drawing much less amp. Even the kV value is almost the same. Now I'm soldering the original connector to the ECU from the motor of the Parrot Disco to new cables which are longer, that I can test engines of all kinds of variety in the new frame from the Opterra. So what might do the trick to still produce enough thrust is using a smaller motor than the original from the Opterra, but slightly bigger than the one from the Disco. That way drawing less amp and then making up for the lack in power to the old motor to get the Opterra up in the air by tweaking the actual propeller blades. For example, using carbon fiber propeller blades, making them bigger and then finding just the right pitch of the blades to not put too much stress on the engine so that the amp is not shooting up over the threshold that the Chuck is cutting off the power. And then hopefully that thrust which is provided is just enough that the Opterra is getting enough lift to sustain flight so that we can build a really super efficient hyper long range cruiser out of the Opterra, where we can have enough payload capacity on the fuselage for enough batteries and all the electronics, the cameras, to get the longest flight time possible out of that frame. Okay guys, and that is what it was for part 1 of a series of videos coming in for the Opterra build with the Chuck implanted in the main frame. And let's see how it turns out to be in the end and when we can have a first flight. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, stay tuned for the next video, have a great rest of the day and stay safe.